Hi, everyone. I'm really happy that we're here. We're going to start without any further ado. Please message me if there's any questions. I think we should be fine, right, Kareem? All right, and let me know if you have any issues with my sound. Are we okay? All right, so we're going to get started right away. Kareem, we're going to do a share screen, okay? And we're going to start. This is what our goal is. I just want to make sure everyone hears me. Kareem, you hear me fine, right? Good. Good. The first thing we're going to look at right now, as we're here, is the Common App. This is where it all begins. We start with the Common application, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a dummy account, and we're going to start looking at what 12th graders see, okay? And before I do this, I just want to make sure, I don't know, Bill, Avi, Bella, can you just type? I just want to make sure that you hear me without any issues, okay? Are we good? Ruta, am I good? Yes? All right, so let's create, oh good, I'm so happy guys. Okay, if you don't hear me well, let me know, okay? All right, let's begin. So Kareem, let's create a dummy account, okay? Thank you, I'm so glad you hear me well. I'm hiding from my children. All right, let's go, okay? Kareem, we're gonna create a dummy account, okay? Ready? So pretend that you're in the 12th grade, and this is actually what you see for the very first time. So now you're a first year student. Let's open this up, okay? Type email address. You want to type yours or you want to do mine? Just do yours. Good. Kareem, is that okay? Do the Kareem Queller one. Is that good? Okay. And if you guys have any issues with hearing me, please let me know. Good. Retype email. So what we're doing is creating a dummy account, which is password, I don't know, Queller is awesome, 1. What do you think, Kareem? Good. Queller is awesome, 1. I like that. That sounds like a good password. What do you think, guys? I'm sharing this with you for the purpose of the Common App, but don't apply to college on my behalf, please. I'll be really upset. Okay. Queller is awesome, 1. We're just doing this for the Common App, okay? Wait, what else do we need? Do we need exclamation marks? No. Okay. Good. Just make it up. You don't even have to put the real numbers. You don't have to put the real number. Just delete. Just put 555. It's fine. Just redo it. 555 because they'll start calling you. It's gonna be really annoying. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Let's keep going. Date of birth. So what we're doing right now is creating a dummy account so that you see this is what 12th graders see. I don't know, and then whatever the year is. Good. College, seniors. Are you currently European Union? Not really. We can literally just make it up. We're just going to make up the account stuff just to get into the account. Okay. Is everyone following along? So we're creating a dummy account. All right. Don't apply to college using this account. We don't need this stuff. They share my contact. We don't, I mean, for our purposes, we don't need this. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Good. Good. Create accounts. Address, I don't know, you want to put Queller, 10822 Queens Boulevard. Good enough, sweet 2. Okay, good, good, let's keep going. All right, create account. And now you're gonna go into your Queller email to open the account, okay? Is everyone following along? So far, I just wanna make sure everyone hears me well. Yay! So Kareem has now started to apply to college. He is now a senior, but you guys are, what grade are you in? Who can tell me? Anyone? 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. So do you see what we're doing? We've created the account. So now we're applying to college. Okay, good. So Kareem, do you want to add anything to this piece? So we're just going through right now.
Yeah, so
you're on mute. Okay.
No, you're hearing me, right?
Yeah, we hear you fine. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So there's a good bit of information that's on the Common App website as well that you can look through before we go into this, and we can talk about this a little bit more at the end. But different colleges have supplemental material that isn't reflected in the Common application. So your Common App, what it allows you to do is create the same essay to apply to a variety of colleges, up to 20 colleges. And depending on what type of colleges you apply to, usually the more kind of like the top few institutions or the more elite institutions will have supplemental material that you need to fill out for them. So all the Ivy League schools, Stanford, MIT, so on and so forth, will include those supplemental materials. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But the big broad strokes things you all would need to understand at this point is that you have up to 20 schools that you can add to your common application. All 20 of those schools you can apply with the same essay. There's 7 options for the prompts. All this information is on the Common App website as well, and we can go through it a little bit later. But just to kind of give you an idea of the flow, we just wanted to go through showing you how to create an application or create a profile and then go through an application process.
So Kareem goes to Harvard University. He went to Columbia for college. So we can start the application. You know what, before we even go into the colleges, let's begin the Common App just so that you see like what's the basics, what are they asking for, okay?
Perfect, sounds good. So
Kareem, if you could just walk everyone through this really fast, and then we're gonna, just so that they can understand the basics of the Common App. Usually students see this for the very first time at the start of 12th grade.
Exactly. So it'll ask for a variety of information in terms of your profile. You see that, you know, the simple things like my name and so on and so forth, but it does also go into kind of familial situations. So it asks about marital status of parents. It asks about, and I'll go through a little bit more. Yeah, just status of each of the parents. Note that it doesn't ask you for financial information in the common application, because that financial information is going to be in your FAFSA. But yes, it asks like if each parent is still living, if they're still married, so on and so forth. So that type of information. Then it goes to your education. What high school did you go to? What were your grades, your transcript from that high school? If you went to a college or if you took college level courses, you'll include this information as well. Then it asks about testing. So the 2 top tests when you're talking about college applications are going to be your SAT and your ACT. So depending on which one you took, you'll answer that question here.
Can you make it a little bit larger? Can you make it a little bit larger? I just want everyone to have an easy time seeing this. Kareem, I'm going to exit and enter the meeting, so I'm going to make you host, okay? Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. I'll keep on moving. So, yeah.
So you're host right now, okay? I'm gonna re-enter later. Go ahead.
Yep, perfect. So, hopefully everyone's seeing, and you guys can all shoot me a message. I'll check the chat. What about this? So I got a question in the chat about if the SHSAT will be asked about. So the SHSAT won't be asked about. The SHSAT is exclusively for applying to specialized high schools in New York. Recall that the common application is for students across the country. So to colleges, the SHSAT doesn't matter really much at all, because it's something that's so unique to New York City. But yeah, either way, the fact that you went to one of the specialized high schools, which inherently means that you did well on the SHSAT, will be reflected because of your attendance at the school. Hopefully that helps. So you have the variety of tests that are applicable to college applications, your SAT, your SAT-1, your SAT-2s, your ACT, so on and so forth. So you can choose which tests did I take. So I took my SAT, I took some subject tests, I took some APs, cool. And then you continue and notice how now it's populated and shows this is your SAT, your SAT subject test, and your AP subject test. So you'd go into each one of these and fill out the information for which ones you took. So number of AP tests that you wish to report. Notice that you have the optionality of not reporting ones if you feel like, hey, maybe my score wasn't as good on those. You don't have to include that type of information. So you can go ahead and include the amount of AP tests that were taken or you expect to take, date that you plan to take them, the score that you received on all of them, so on and so forth, and fill out the information for all of those.
And Kareem, if you could make it 1 drop larger, I just want them to really get a feel for this. And Kareem, I just want to do a quick security setting. So I'm going to put you on mute. I just want to make sure that I'm on top of it right now. Okay, hold on just a second.
Perfect.
All right, you can unmute yourself now. Okay. So we're good. So let's go to the prior page where it says tests taken. Good. And I hope everyone sees that really well. And again, you usually see this at the start of 12th grade. Oops, hold on. Sorry, guys, hold on. Participants. Just one moment, okay? You are co-host again, okay? You got it, right? Cream, are you there?
Perfect. Yep, now I can unmute. So, yeah, tells
So
you.
it says here number of future sittings that you expect to take. So Cream, if it's okay, Cream and I we actually know each other for over 10 years. So we're just going to bounce and interrupt each other this whole webinar. All right. So you don't want to take the SAT after December of senior year, hopefully not even after October, because you need to apply. So Cream, if you could quickly just go over what's early action, early decision, what's the situation with the exams and the timelines?
So early decision, the difference between early action and early decision is that with early decision, you have this binding clause. So when you say that you're going to apply to a school, early decision, and mind you, I applied to Columbia, early decision. What you're essentially saying is that if Columbia or if some other institution that does early decision accepts you, you will be going there. So by telling that school, this is my number one choice, I will 100% go here. If you accept me, that increases your chances of going to that school. Early action is similar, except there is no binding clause associated with it. So many schools don't do an early decision option. They just do early action. I could be mistaken about this. So certainly fact check me, Francis, and folks on the call.
Yeah, but guys, just remember, you want to make sure that if you're taking the SAT and ACT, you need to make sure, and by the way, there's no more essay at this point, but you want to make sure that you are testing before you begin your college applications. Okay, let's go on to the next page, okay?
Perfect.
If you check the box saying you plan to take the SAT again, they will not review your college application. Notice how I said that slowly. It's really important. Okay, next.
Perfect. So, yep, you populate the number of tests or the types of tests that you've taken, the number of times you've taken it, so on and so forth, and you fill in your scores for each one of those things.
Next one.
So moving on to activities. You want to highlight the things that you did during high school. And
so let's make it larger. I just want everyone to really get like a good picture of what's going on here. So what are they looking for? What activities do you want to report? Ready? So they want to know, can you report arts, music, clubs, community engagement? So this is interesting, family responsibility. So one of the tutors from Queller got into Harvard University, and she actually wrote about how she helped her mother, and she was in a single family household. It was actually very interesting. She wrote about how she helps a lot with child care. So just remember, that's really important. All right, hobbies, sports, work, volunteering, other experiences that are meaningful to you. So these are reporting activities. Do you have activities you wish to report? Let's see. There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. Ready? Who wants to guess what the wrong answer is? It's no. All right. So you definitely want to check yes here. So Cream, we're going to check yes. Okay. Because we're going one way, guys. Harvard. All right, let's keep going. So now you put in the activity. How should you organize your activities? Cream, feel free to take it from there so we can see. Everyone take a look. What are the activities? So let's actually start from the beginning. So are you going to list academic activities, art activities, athletics, junior varsity? So it's not just about you being in a sport. Are you varsity? Are you junior varsity? Career oriented, community service, computer technology, cultural dance, debate, environmental, family responsibilities, foreign exchange, language, internship, journalism, ROTC, LGBT, music, instrumental, religious, research. Do you see how many different activities you can possibly participate in? You want to make sure that you're involved in something, right? Activities. Let's keep going, Cream. We're going a little more down. Okay. Now the question is, actually, if you don't mind, I want to read this pieces. So let's go. Can you make it larger? I'm sorry to be like annoying. I like stuff to pop out. You can all tell because everyone here is on the mailing list, and that we write big. All right, so here's the really big thing. They're asking now for positions of leadership. what do you do as a leader in this activity? Is everyone following along? So I hope that's extremely important. You understand that this is here. I mean, you're welcome to read between the lines. What's the name of the organization? Is it a national organization? Is it the National Honor Society? Is it a local organization? Is it a club no one's ever heard of? Okay, let's keep going. Please describe the activity. Kareem, if you could just move up, I want to see the activity in the words. Ready? 150 characters. So like word letters, literally. Participation, grades 9, 10, 11, 12. Kareem, if you want to add anything at this point, and then I'll go back to you.
Perfect. So the only thing I would add is that a lot of people ask, so two things. So one, I have a question in the chat about chess specifically. So the question is, if I want to report chess as an activity, do I have to have won tournaments for it to count, or maybe have a certain ranking for it to matter to college? So that's certainly not the case. You want to report the things that are most valuable to you and most kind of give colleges an understanding of who you are as a person. But that said, it would certainly be nice if you've won tournaments or if you have some type of national ranking. For example, I have a very good friend who's nationally ranked as kind of like a chess grandmaster, and she was ranked that way in high school. So she went to Stanford and did quite well there. Either way, it would be great to have those things, but it's not necessary. And you certainly, the last thing that you want to do in these applications is lie, because dishonesty is the quickest way of not being able to get into college. But the second thing that I want to say is that in terms of order, oftentimes people ask, what order should they put this in? An order matters. It certainly does. So you want to put the stuff that matters most to you and most contributes to who you are as an individual. So when I was applying to college, for example, I often tell people, so I went to Columbia, I did chemical engineering as my undergraduate degree. And I often tell people that when you're thinking about STEM generally, but engineering specifically as well, there's usually two avenues that you want to take. One is going to be kind of research-based opportunities as it pertains to REUs, is what they call them. So research engineering undergraduate experiences, research experiences for undergraduates. But then there's a high school analog to that. So you can do kind of high school research at a university. And I did research at York College, which is connected to the high school that I went to. Either way, I had 2 summers of doing research at York College. So 100%, that was the first thing that I would report on these applications, saying, hey, I've done academic research in a college laboratory and have done these things and presented these presentations and so on and so forth. So that would be for sure the number one thing that I would put up there. I've also done a lot of volunteering. So that's something that matters a lot to me and gives an understanding of who I am as a person. I give back to the community and so on and so forth. So that would be kind of like a number 2. And then number 3, hey, I also played basketball and I played around the country a bit. So obviously there's some flexibility there. It really is kind of up to the individual of what you would like to do. But yeah, order certainly matters. Put the things that matter to you most first, so that the colleges get an understanding of who you are as an individual. And I will leave it there. Actually, there's one more question.
Yeah, and then I'm going to bounce off you. Go ahead.
Perfect. One more question popped up. Would CTY classes help? And yeah, no, certainly. Any kind of like higher level course, you want to make sure that that's included in your application, because it shows colleges that you're willing to go up to challenges that your peers wouldn't have necessarily taken on. And that shows that you kind of have the readiness for college and that you'll be able to handle the academic rigor.
So this is something that the 9th graders are not going to want to hear. Look at this: participation grade levels. Okay, so pay attention, guys. Ready? So you're not going to like to hear this. Don't drop stuff in 12th grade. It looks really bad. It looks bad if you did it for grade 9, 10, 11. It also looks really bad. Is everyone paying attention to me? You guys better be paying attention to me, because I have a lot going on right now. So you better be listening. It is not good if you have nothing 9, nothing 10, nothing 11, and then suddenly you have like 8 activities, 12th grade, September. You are applying to college, October. So you better make sure that you have consistent participation. And if you really, really don't like something you've done 9, 10th, and 11th grade, sorry to tell you this, 12th grade, it's not the time to stop. You have to show a commitment that you're doing something, and you absolutely should not suddenly blow up with activities in 12th grade. You need to start the activities. I just want to remind you the real purpose of this webinar is to help you plan proactively and years in advance. Look, they want to see you check the boxes. All right, let's keep going. Timing of participation. Was this something during the school year? Was this something during the break? What is something they want to know that? How much time did you spend? Don't over exaggerate, but quite a few people do put travel time, because that is, how much time, to and from, especially students from color who go to Bronx Science and they live in Queens, or they go to Stuyvesant, they take the subway for 30 minutes. So, a lot of them have done that. Okay. Now they want to ask you, I intend to participate. This is like red. Do you see the red asterisk? I intend to participate in a similar activity in college. Well, I would hope so. So start choosing your activities and start planning what you're going to do. Let's keep going. You have a lot of space. So you actually have space. Can we make that even larger? Let's make that ridiculously large. Large, large, large. Look at how many activities you can list. You can list 10 activities. So don't look to only do one activity throughout high school. Don't look to do 2 activities throughout high school. All right. And keep that in mind. And these are your years to explore and to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. They also want to make sure that you're actively involved. Let's go up a little bit. Can you just go, what does it say? Please describe. They want to know so open it. Oh, larger, larger. Please describe. See that, everyone? Large, 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 large. Please, thank you, Kareem. Look at how great Kareem and I work off each other, right? Aren't we the best? We are the best team. Please describe this activity, including, everyone pay attention. You better do not multitask. Please describe this activity, including what you accomplished and any recognition you received. Did you participate in a national writing competition, or did you do a little writing club? Did you participate in the national organization or Red Cross, or did you participate in Okie Dokie Club Tuesdays and you got free pizza? Eating pizza at a school club is nowhere near winning an AMC math competition or math Olympiad or IME or taking college classes while you're a high school student. And by the way, if you want to get into a really good college, you better take college classes while you're in high school. So just heads up, that's not optional. All right. It's not optional to only go to high school when you're in high school. All right, let's keep going. Next.
And the only thing I would add here is notice that it's 150 characters. That's inclusive of spaces, periods, all punctuation. So you want to be extremely succinct in describing the activity that you did here, and you want to use as much space as possible. So plan it out, use that 150 characters. Everything that Francis said, I would echo. And the only other thing that I would add is that the fact that there are 10 positions for the activities is telling you 2 things. 1, the college wants you to list out like everything. So everything that matters to you, you should be including there. But 2, just because there's 10 spaces doesn't mean you have to fill everything out. So don't make anything up. Don't lie. That's like one of the biggest takeaways that I can give you all today is like you need to be honest on these applications, because if you go to an interview and they ask you a question and then you don't know what they're talking about, but you put it on your application, that is the worst position to be in. Like, it is academic dishonesty. So
And you should also know rising in the ranks is very important, like becoming a member, 9th grade, then 10th grade, you become secretary, then 11th grade, you're vice president, then 12th grade, you're president. So rising in the ranks is an incredibly big deal. All right. So let's keep going. Okay.
So I got a question in the chat and it said, do you submit your college essay on this website or somewhere else? So perfect timing.
We're to that right now. So let's go. Can we make it larger, Kareem, please? Let's make it larger. Okay, good. Some colleges require submission of the personal essay. So I just want to remind all of you, Kareem, do you mind just reading this piece out so that everyone can see it? Go ahead.
So some colleges require submission of the personal essay with your Common App. You may submit a personal essay to any college, even if it is not required by that college. If not required by a college, you will be given the option during submission to include your essay or not for that college.
Okay, good. So I understand, right? So, okay, whatever, we understand. It's fine. Okay, let's keep going. So these are the essay prompts. Usually students will see this for the first time in 12th grade. I mean, some schools hopefully start earlier. You'll see it in 11, but let's go through really fast, okay? This
Perfect.
essay, can you read through this for me?
Perfect. So here is the current list of colleges. We're not seeing anything populated here because we didn't populate with colleges.
Just yet, but we will. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So
So
the
prompts.
perfect. So the essay demonstrates your ability to write clearly and concisely on a selected topic and helps you distinguish yourself in your own voice. What do you want readers of your application to know about you apart from your courses, grades, and test scores? Choose the option that best helps you answer that question and write an essay for no more than 650 words using the prompt to inspire and structure your response. Remember, 650 words is your limit, not your goal. Use the full range if you need it, but don't feel obligated to do so. What does that tell you? Don't go over 650 words. They want to see that you follow instructions. That's super important. So under no circumstance should you be going over the 650 words, but understand that you should probably get kind of close to that.
And also those of you who are too smart for your own good, it's specifically an essay. It's not a poem. It's not a cute little anecdote. It's an essay. Queller, I want to write a poem. No, it says essay. Write an essay. All right, let's keep going.
The application won't accept a response shorter than 250 words. So again, it's telling you you should be closer to that 650 words than your 250 words. So there's 7 options for your prompt. They're here. Francis, would you like to go read through all of them?
I think it's okay if you read through it and then I'll just add to it. Okay, let's go to the first one. So you have to choose one of these prompts and figure like 649 words. This is your main essay. This is the one that you're going to write in the 12th grade. And it really like goes over everything. Like it's really your life. So let's go ahead. Go ahead, Kareem.
Perfect. So some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful, they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. So
remember, the personal essay is about you. So go ahead, Kareem.
Yep. So for this type of essay, you're talking about something that's unique to your experience that, in growing up, this really kind of painted who you are as a person. So some type of background, identity, interest, or talent. So you can write about things ranging from musical talent to kind of like what you identify as a human being, or like a variety of things. You can talk about basketball or some sport. But yeah, the ideal situation is that if you're talking about some type of thing that you've done, whether it be something musical or sport related, you want to have accolades associated with it, because that's kind of the idea there. If you don't have any accolades associated with it, if it's just an interest of yours that you kind of do as a hobby, this is probably not the essay for you.
I really like the first essay. I just want you to know, like, if this is actually my favorite one. All right, let's go to the next one.
Number 2, the lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from the experience?
So a mistake I've seen, I'm not in love with this essay because there's actually a different part of the common application, which we will get to. And in that part, you can actually talk about obstacles and how you've overcome obstacles. So the question is there any additional information you want to share that was not reflected? So that's usually where I would recommend students write about hardship. But let's pretend that you choose this as your main essay. I just want to give you like some straight up, very practical advice. 10% identify hardship. 90% talk about how you've overcome the hardship, how it affected you, what you learned from the experience. We're not looking to cry here. We're looking to see how you learned, grew, developed, and how you've overcome the hardship. So I would recommend 90% of that conversation in the essay be about how you've become better, bigger, stronger, wiser, and you've learned and evolved from the experience. Writing about how something was really, really hard for you is not the goal of this particular prompt. The goal is to talk about how it's shaped you as a person and made you better. But again, I'm not in love with this essay question because there's a different part of the application where you are able to talk about hardships. All right, next question.
Next one is reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking? What was the outcome?
So my little political activists, just remember the essay is about you and how you are, going to be a great fit into a college community and how you're going to stimulate class discussions. Okay. So, you have to be just, with caution on this. Again, as I said earlier, my first The first essay prompt is by far my favorite, just letting you know. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let's move on.
Perfect. So we're on reflect on something that someone has done for you that has made you happy or thankful in a surprising way. How has this gratitude affected or motivated you?
So I'm going to chime in by saying this is a personal essay. Can everyone repeat after me? Repeat after me. Personal essay. It's about you. It's about you. So don't talk about someone. This is not a biography. This is not about you writing about, like Gandhi for 650 words. Please don't do that. Don't write about someone else. This is your personal essay. Do you see how I'm saying this more slowly? It's really important. Okay. Next.
Completely agree with you, Francis. And the only other thing that I would add for this essay specifically is that you want this to be a very personal interaction. You don't want it to be some celebrity, made a donation to this charity and that made you very happy because you care about the charity. It needs to be some very direct interaction. Like, my uncle gave me this thing that allowed me to, gave me this cello that allowed me to play in an orchestra, and that prompted my
At Carnegie Hall when I was 14.
exactly.
And
So
I performed at the Nutcracker because of, and you have to have the words like me, I. The word I has to be. It's a personal essay. Like, grandma is not applying to college. Like, I've literally read essays where someone talks about grandma the entire essay. I'm like, what about you? This is the one main essay that every single college is going to see. All right.
the next one is discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself and others.
It's really the latter part of this that's so important. It's not so much the accomplishment, the events, or the realization. It's, you see that second part, it says what would personal growth, new understanding. It's that second half. You want to talk, you don't want to talk about how you accomplished something. You want to talk about how you did it. So like 10%, right? Accomplishment, event, realization. 90% talk about the personal growth and the new understanding. I'm placing a numerical value to it just because I really want you to understand, like, you can't write 89% about grandma and then like 11% you. Like, you just can't do that. The bulk of this essay is about you. Okay, let's keep going. Next.
Perfect. So next one is describe a topic, idea, or concept you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you? What or who do you turn to when you want to learn more?
Again, look at the second part of the question, not the first. Describe a topic. Okay, no problem. Don't spend the entire essay. Don't waste your 650 words describing a topic. Why does it captivate you? That's where you should have like 600 words. Got it? Okay, next.
And the last one is just the all-inclusive one. Share an essay on any topic of your choice. It can be one you've already written, one that responds to a different prompt, or one of your own design. I'll just say something very quickly here. If you've already written it, it's probably not an essay that you should submit. You should be submitting new material, something that you're writing specifically for this, because to Francis's point, and notice how all 7 of these topics, Francis said the same thing. It is a personal essay. So it needs to be kind of specific to the college application process. And I'll just add in one more thing is that, yes, the essay is about you. And what gets really nice is when the essay shows a level of introspection. So something happened to you and you like reflected on that experience or reflected on that gift or reflected on that failure. And this is what it taught you about yourself and how you took that lesson and it allowed you to become a better person.
All right, so let's go now and pretend that we're applying to college. Let's pretend, I don't know, UPenn. Should we do, let's look at, so let's take a look here. Oh, and make sure that you use a Google Doc before you write everything, and Grammarly, which I'm in love with. So now let's look at colleges. Ready? We're gonna apply to college. Let's apply, I don't know, where should we apply? Harvard? We can apply anywhere. Let's apply somewhere fun. Let's do a UPenn application. Let's do a Princeton application. Columbia. I mean, let's just do the fun ones. Okay, let's do the fun ones for now. Good. Let's do the Ivies, Cream. Let's do, I mean, we're already here. Might as well do the Ivies. Okay, good. We could do the other ones later. By the way, you can apply to local community colleges. You can do that through the cuny.edu, and you can apply to state colleges, suny.edu. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and then there's also something called the coalition application, but it's new and I like to use Common App. All right, so pretend we're applying to these colleges. Ready? So now each of these colleges, they have supplemental essays. So let's take a look. Ready? Let's look at the writing requirements. Okay, so let's go into where it says writing on the left. It says writing.
So we're in writing now. It's allowing you to submit the essay that, you know, the comment essay. So let's just say, I love college and would love to.
No, kidding. Okay, go. All right, we're good. So good, we're done. But now if you, good, perfect. Now here's another essay. So everyone, let's make this big, big, big. Okay, ready? So Kareem, if you could just read this, everyone, and everyone should definitely answer this because we've all been affected by COVID somehow. All right, so go right ahead. Kareem, if you could help just read through this. Does everyone see the question? Go ahead.
So community disruptions such as COVID-19 and natural disasters can have deep and long-lasting impacts. If you need it, this space is yours to describe those impacts. Colleges care about the effects on your health and well-being, safety, family circumstances, future plans, and education, including access to reliable technology and quiet study spaces. For more information, check out COVID-19 FAQ.
Do you wish to share anything on this topic? Yes. I just want to remind the majority of the people listening that New York City, Queens, Elmhurst was the epicenter of the virus. So I just want to remind you, there was major disruption, and also New York City students were very heavily disrupted. So I just want to kind of refresh your memory that you shouldn't, dismiss this essay. All right, let's keep going. And then can you show me this question? So you see how I said one of the essay prompts here. So Kareem, if you could please read through this, go ahead.
Do you wish to provide details of circumstances or qualifications not reflected in the application?
So let's say you say yes, open it. So click yes. And then, so here it says you may use the space below. And again, you have 650 words, which is cha-ching. Guess what? Guess what? Just as long as the Common App. And the COVID essay is 250 words. Am I correct, Kareem? If we scroll up? Yes, two. All right, excellent. Make sure that you always have a separate Google Doc when you're writing all of these, and definitely get Grammarly, which I love. Okay. All right, so these essays go to all the colleges, all the schools get this, all of them. Now we're gonna go to school-specific essay supplements so you can start planning accordingly, okay? So let's go on the left, it should say writing. So go up, and then go to left, okay? And again, this is what you usually see at the start of 12th grade, but we felt it was very important to show it to you a few years earlier. Okay, let's go.
We are
right.
So I
want to go to the questions and essays. I just want to go to the questions and essays. Oh, this one is also very good.
Yeah. So for your common application, it's going to give you the ability to fill out.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay.
It's going to give you the ability to fill out the common essay. So one of these 7 prompts, and then the 2 extra ones that we already mentioned, the COVID one for the circumstances, and then the other one about circumstances or other abilities that you'd like to highlight. So any type of supplementary materials, you're not going to be submitting like within the common application.
So now and then let's go, can we go to my colleges? I think I want to show everyone, let's go to my colleges. All right, so let's go to, I don't know, which one do we pick? We'll pick one. All right, now, okay, let's take a look. So here it says questions. Let's go to can we go to questions at the top? No, at the top.
Here it is.
Actually, I was thinking to do the first set of questions. All right, everyone pay attention just because it's already 7:46. Okay, ready? So this is the first set of questions, ready? And this is for, are we at Brown? Is that correct?
Correct.
The questions are being asked. Okay, ready, start term. When do you want to start? Okay. Do you plan to apply for FAFSA, Pell, TAP, any of these? Okay. Early decision. Early decision is binding. You only pick one school. Marriage, early decision. Need-based aid, yes or no. Okay. Ivies, the top schools, they do have need-based aid. So keep that in mind. All right, let's keep going. If you are planning early decision, you must, what do? I made it too big. Withdraw colleges. Make no additional, so early decisions are a really big deal, but it helps your chances of getting in. So, okay, so yes, let's pretend. If we're already gonna pretend, let's pretend we're applying early to Brown. Deal. Ta-da. Okay, ED signature. Oh my God. Good thing it's Kareem signing this. Okay, ready? Have you been a candidate for admission in any previous year? No, you have not. Let's keep going. Will you use a okay, this is a really big deal. So we sent a Queller email before about QuestBridge. QuestBridge is such an important application. I'm even going to take a screenshot because it's very important. So if everyone pay attention, I will speak more slowly. When I speak more slowly, it's very important. Okay, ready? Ready? Here we go. When you apply through the QuestBridge portal, the applications are free. Otherwise, they're $80 to $100 each. Did everyone hear that? Say yes. Yes, Kareem, they heard me, right?
They did. They did.
I purposely spoke slowly and low to make sure you had to struggle to hear me. All right, let's keep going. Next. Okay, so let's pretend that you do QuestBridge. Good. Pretend. QuestBridge finalist. There. I'm living the dream. Everything's free. College. Okay, good. Okay, so now they want to ask you like all these cute questions. Who was your favorite teacher junior year? Let's do that. Bum. Okay, security question. I don't know. Someone put that in. Good.
This is my first grade teacher.
Yay.
Cool. So,
Okay.
yep. And then they'll ask you questions about academics and your concentration, things that you would be interested in applying.
Please, let's open this up. All right, open. Make it larger. Let's make it larger.
So all your major choices from Brown are listed here. And this is not binding, but it shows them that you have an inclination towards one type of thing. So if you choose something like, let's say you chose engineering and physics, and then when you go to Brown, you actually wanted to just do engineering, or you just wanted to do physics, or you want to do chemistry. That's fine. It just, you need to show that you have the tendency towards STEM already, because that helps them understand what their numbers are going to look like when they admit their class. And it also shows them that you have kind of like an understanding of who you are as a person and what you want to apply for.
This is called a demonstrated interest. What have you demonstrated throughout your 4 years of high school to support a major? You can't suddenly say that I want to go into psychology and you've never taken psychology, you've never taken statistics. You can't like suddenly decide that you're going to study something in college and commit your life from like 22 to 80 studying something you've never even once taken throughout high school. Please look at this question. Kareem, can you help me read it? Some schools
offer the opportunity to take national exams in areas such as math and language. So notice how this is kind of like where you have your AMC tests.
They're literally asking you, have you done this? So everyone pay attention, take a screenshot if necessary. IME, AMC 10, like, have you ever taken a national Spanish exam, national Latin exam? I mean, you really don't want to have empty boxes, right? Like that's common sense. Good. Yeah. Have you taken these exams?
Yep. So it's certainly a nice to have if you have one of these exams, but they're not offered everywhere and they understand that. So if you don't, it's fine. But obviously if the opportunity presents itself, certainly take advantage of that opportunity. And I'll just address some questions that I've gotten in the chat, Francis. So one question.
Yeah, while you're addressing them, can you go to the questions page just because we're tight in time and I want to hit the questions? Okay.
Perfect. So how many?
But we're going to do a really quick respond because we're tight in time. Okay, everyone, go ahead.
So how many college level courses is good for Ivy League? What's the least number? So that's a hard question to answer, but the easy answer is as many as possible. If you go to a high school that offers a lot of them, then you certainly should take a lot of them. Are we allowed to submit the same essay for multiple colleges? Yes, that is actually the point of the Common Application. That prompt, the 1 of 7 prompts that we went through, when you write the essay for that one, when you write the essay for one of those prompts, you're going to use that for every college that you are applying to. And we're going to talk about the supplements for each of the individual colleges that are not going to be the same. And we're doing that right now. And
can you be larger while you're answering the questions? I just want to make sure everyone sees the questions well. Go ahead.
So these are the supplementary questions that you're going to answer for just Brown. So this is not.
And Brown has a different agenda from Columbia, and Columbia is different from Yale. So you can't be like, oh, I didn't know that about Brown. Like you actually have to research the school before you're applying. So go ahead, Kareem, if you could add anything to it. Brown versus Columbia, where you went.
Exactly. So this is where you show that you care about the school you're applying to. So you want to research a school, like Francis said, find professors that do research that you would be interested in kind of working underneath them, or courses that are specific to this university that other universities don't offer that you would love to take, or some type of building or institution or some type of club that this university has that others don't necessarily have that you would take advantage of. It's about showing this university that you really want to go here. And you're applying to multiple universities, so multiply the amount of work that you have to do for each one of them by however many you're applying to. What does that tell you? You need to apply early on and make sure that you're doing sufficient research for each one of the schools that you're applying to.
You need to do your due diligence, and you need to have like some really like common sense doing this as well. You can't just openly apply to a school and be like, this is my first choice and this is my early decision, and you didn't research the school. Like, give me a break. You need to research the school. You need to visit the school. You need to have demonstrated interest with the school. You need to be familiar with the school curriculum. It's like you're applying for a job.
Yeah.
You are interviewing for a job, okay? Someone like applies to Queller, for example, as a tutor. Oh, Miss Queller, it's so nice to meet you. I didn't know that you're a lawyer. I didn't know you were on the position. You're not getting a freaking job. Okay. We need to know. You need to research who is the mothership here. You need to know Brown is different from Cornell. Cornell is different from Columbia. You need to know that the schools are different, and you have to research the schools. Visiting is very important as well. On the back end, a lot of schools use Constant Contact or MailChimp. They know who opens their stuff. I know who opens mine. All right. Anyway, Kareem, if you could please go through more questions. Let's keep going. All right.
So notice how this question highlights Brown's open curriculum. This is very similar to the model that Columbia has, which is the core curriculum, which essentially is that all students should take the same core courses so that they are at the same level of understanding, and then they can from there branch out and do whatever specific concentration they'd like to do. So you should know that about Brown. You should know what type of academic interests excite you so that you can use the open curriculum to pursue them while embracing time. So it's all about Brown. So understand what their value add to you is, and respond to that. And then notice how it's talking about Brown's culture fosters a community in which students challenge the ideas of others, so on and so forth. So you have to write something specifically about like engagement in society and how you address conflict, and how you can have like an open debate without shutting down other people's ideas, and you can learn from that type of experience. So there's unique things about Brown. You want to respond to those specifically. And
then look at can you highlight the last line of that question? So here's the question. In grade 9, 10, 11, 12, tell us about a time, everyone's paying attention because I'm going a little slower. Ready? When I go slowly, it's very important. Tell us about a time you were challenged by a perspective that differed from your own. How did you respond? It is so important that grades 9, 10, and 11 and the start of 12, because remember, colleges look at 9, 10, 11, and they only see a little piece of 12. It is so extremely important that you use this time to shape, develop, grow, mature, and question ideas and develop. You need to develop, especially as you're applying to college. And you really want to plan it. And again, we are purposefully showing this to you years before many of you are actually going to see this again in the 12th grade. All right. So just keep that in mind. 250 words. All right, let's keep going. Kareem, let's, everyone, I know I said it was 7 to 8, but let's do like maybe 8:15, 8:10. Let's torpedo through a few more questions so that everyone just sees what the supplemental questions look like. Okay.
Perfect. So for Columbia, for example, if we go to its supplemental questions.
We should also do the top questions just so that let's do the top ones first. Let's do the top questions.
So the top questions are, so this piece, Francis, is going to be very similar. It's going to be Questbridge and, are you going to do financial aid? The differing piece is going to be within the supplemental questions right here. So these are going to be unique about Columbia. Notice it says like 3 list questions that follow. There's a 75 or 125 word maximum. So these have to be really short and really concise and really say a lot with a few words. So list the titles of the required readings and academic courses you most enjoyed in high school. Notice how Columbia, it has a core curriculum that is very focused on reading like Old English, and you go through Aristotle and all the like great thinkers of history. So you go through the Iliad and the Odyssey, and you do all of these like older English readings. So they want to understand that, you know, you've read at a high level in high school, or you pursue those types of courses. List the titles of books, essays, poetry, short stories. Again, more reading based stuff. We're interested in learning about some of the ways that you explore your interests. List some other, notice, publications, journals, podcasts, very, very reading heavy. So that's just something that's unique to Columbia and something you should know about the school, and you should know going in when you kind of are doing your supplemental materials for it.
And when are you doing this? It's grades 9, 10, 11. So it's not really so much. I also just want to make a quick note on CTY, which was asked earlier. CTY can start from second grade to grade 2. They're not really interested in that. They're interested in grade 9, 10, 11, and the first part of 12. What have you done 9, 10, 11? All right, go ahead.
Yep, a hallmark of the Columbia experience is being able to learn and live in a community with a wide range of perspectives. Very similar to the Brown essay, except you have to make it more Columbia focused. Why are you interested in attending Columbia? They're literally asking you, what research have you done about this university that makes us the university that you want to go to relative to all the others? And there's some things that you have to just go on the website and you have to do your due diligence and research and understand what makes Columbia special.
Columbia has programs that are completely free. There's something called Columbia SHP. It's an exam-based free program where you can do science research. Columbia has paid programs where you can take a class over the summer. You can visit, you can schedule a tour, you can audit a class. They want to know, like, have you touched Columbia in any way? Have you attended? Have you visited? This is a really big deal. Have you shown an active demonstrated interest in the school? And have you done that throughout 9th, 10th, and 11th grade? I think it's very odd for you to apply early decision to a college you've never been to, you've never researched, you've never gone on the website. You need to be really comfortable with where you're applying, and you need to know the schools like the back of your hands. All right, let's go to the next question. If you could make it larger.
Perfect. So, yeah, this quote focuses on Dartmouth. It's a small college, and yet there are those who love it. And you seek admission from what aspects of the college's program, community, or campus environment attract. So this is very directly asking you, what about Dartmouth do you care about and makes Dartmouth unique, and why you want to go there? And then they give
the
you
right way to answer that is connected. What did you do grades 9, 10, 11, 12? What did you do connected to Dartmouth somehow? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you want Harvard? I want Harvard because I visited Yale. No. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, and exactly right. Francis is on the money saying that in order to show interest in the school, you sign up for tours, you sign up for webinars, you sign up for something that shows, like, hey, I've researched a school, I understand what value you all are adding to my experience, and that's what I'm going to highlight in these types of essays. Then
there's
they give
also called Splash. Splash is a 1-day event at a college, and they even have it remotely now. So there's just like no excuse. There's no excuse for you to not visit the school before somehow. All right, throughout grades 9, 10, 11. All right, let's keep going.
Perfect. So yeah, then it gives you a bunch of prompts that you can answer, very similar to the common essay, except you want to remember, this is your supplemental material. So this has to have a lens on something related to Brown, So yeah, they give you a variety of choices here. And you, very similar to the previous option or to the common essay, you want to choose an option, focus on it, make it about you, make it about Brown, make it about the connection between those two things. Or Dartmouth, I'm sorry, is the one that we're on right now.
Let's go if there are any more.
Perfect. So let's do Harvard, Francis, and if you're okay.
We can do a UPenn. Okay, I just want everyone to see what the questions are looking like. Okay.
Yep. So notice for Harvard, the only question they have is very similar to that Dartmouth question, which is like, if you plan to submit an initial essay, please select the prompt. So I know just anecdotally, a lot of people choose this one, letter to a future college roommate. But certainly that is not the one that you have to choose. There's a variety of choices here. But yeah, either way, you choose one from that list, and then you're going to write the essay about that. So you would upload the essay. Notice how you're uploading the essay. They don't give you a word limit here, but implicitly you don't want to make the essay extremely long because there's no word limit here. You want to kind of keep it concise and keep it uh, digestible by the admissions office.
Let's quickly circle back just to the original Common App questions, just so that they know the education and testing. I just want to remind everyone, what do we look at first? So on the main dashboard, so here they want to see your name, your family, if you could quickly just go through that, so we all see what are we're looking at the main profile. So this is how it all begins. This is like level 1. Okay, it all the profile, then they want to know family, they want to know education. Let's take a look quickly at the testing part as well, just so that we're all kind of seeing those.
And the testing piece was the SAT 1s, SAT 2s, and the APs and that type of stuff. And then the writing is the same choice between these 7 essays that we have the option here. And just to be clear, so make sure that everyone kind of has the understanding here, notice how at the top you have your colleges and then you have the Common App. Notice that those two things are separate. Under your Common App, that's the stuff that you're doing for every college that you're applying to, up to 20 colleges. Now for the My Colleges, you go through each one of those colleges and you submit the supplemental material for each one of them. So just understand the difference between the two. That's why earlier in the call I mentioned that the supplemental material is separate from the Common App, and that's all I meant by that.
And then with regards to a resume, a lot of schools have an optional resume. The super top tier have a required, but remember, you're building your resume grade 9, 10, 11. It's not really like a resume for work. It's a resume for school. So you want to include any awards, any honors, any academic honorable mentions, any victories in a sport that you've had. So you want to put that in as much as possible. And if we could quickly just go through the activities section, I just want to remind everyone, because we're kind of like coming full circle. I think it's safe, Kareem, to change the chat settings to the everyone, just so that we can kind of like give you a thank you. So if you want, as we're winding down, let's also just give Kareem a thank you. All right. And we're going to close on a cute treat. I'm going to go look for my doggy and my little baby. All right, let's go. So Kareem, go ahead. So look at the questions. So I just want to remind everyone, how did you participate? So Kareem, if you could just quickly, once again, remind everyone, this is the activity section of the Common Application. Okay.
So activity section, remember that you have up to 10 options that you can submit here. That doesn't mean that you have to submit all 10 options, but they do want you to submit stuff that has been instrumental to your development as a person. So for myself, I was working at Queller Prep. Francis mentioned that we've known each other for 10 years. I was working at Queller Prep, so I included that. I played basketball around the country on an AAU team. I included that. I did a lot of volunteer work. I did volunteer work every holiday that I was in high school. Like all the Thanksgivings and Christmases. So I included that. I included the research opportunities that I had at the universities. And there was a question in the chat, how can a 10th grader get a research opportunity? So that would be a question kind of for your college advisor within your school, because different high schools have connections to different universities and oftentimes can make those connections for you. For me specifically, because I went to Queens High School for the Sciences at York College, obviously we were connected to York College, so whenever they needed a research intern, they asked the high school, and I ended up being one of those people. But yeah, honestly, that is something that's kind of unique to each high school, but it's also something that if you were to kind of look through a database that you could find online, you should be able to find something if you just look for like high school research opportunity. And yeah, just back to the activities portion, important things to your development. You want to include as much as you possibly can. You do not want to lie. I've said that multiple times. I hope that kind of is ingrained in everyone. And yeah, these are kind of the breakdown of different things. And you want to show that you're multifaceted. So, if you've played sports as a hobby, maybe it's not the thing that you include as your first one. Maybe you didn't compete or maybe you didn't go to like tournaments or compete kind of at a higher level, but the fact that you kind of are interested in it and you commit a lot of time to basketball is something that maybe you should still include and just include it lower down. But yeah, either way, hopefully that is helpful to everyone. Francis, are you back?
We did. And so much. You want a spotlight?
Okay.
Hello, my little one. Wait, spotlight. We're switching. Okay, check it. Say hello. Look at my little cuties. This is one. You want to see the other one? The other one's hiding. Michelle, get over here. Oh, God, I have no control in my own house. All right. Thank you, everyone. Did you guys learn something? Wait, Michelle, come say hi. Everyone, you want to see how cute Michelle looks? She just came from gymnastics. Michelle, come. I want to see how cute you are. Come, Michelle, to Zoom. 1 second.
No
Okay.
problem, everyone. Hopefully that was helpful.
Maybe Kareem,
I
can
would
we,
say,
everyone, let's do an unmute. We're going to say thank you to Kareem, and I'm going to switch the camera. Okay. Go ahead. Look. Hello, little baby.
yeah, I actually don't think Diamond, that's funny. But also just for folks that are on the call.
So let's say thank you to Kareem. Okay. I'm going to unmute. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Kareem, you can switch the spotlight. Okay. Ready? Everyone, how do I say thank you? Hold on. Wait, guys. I know how to do this. Hold on. We're unmuting. Ready? Say thank you, Kareem. Kareem, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ready?
No
Thank
problem.
you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see that.
Thank
Who's gonna
you.
say thank you in different
Thank you.
languages? Let's do
Thank
language.
you.
No
What do you think?
problem.
Obrigado.
Wait, let's spotlight the baby. Hello, little baby.
All right, Francis. And just as for those who are still on the call, I do this type of consulting too. So connect with Francis and she can connect you with me and we can do kind of one-on-one sessions if you need it. But all right, everyone have a great night and thank you for joining.
Hi. Hi. You want to say hi? All right. Thanks, Kareem. Thank you very, very much. All
No
right.
problem.
And I think
You have
you
a great
a
night.
lot of great.
Good night. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Francis. Good night.
No problem.
Thank you for listening, guys. Okay. You learned something. Who learned something?
We
Hopefully.
did.
You guys,
Yes,
Who's
we
gonna
did.
tutor?
Thank you.
Who's gonna tutor the baby? You guys are gonna give me a discount, right? When it's my turn, I get a cheaper price, right? Who's gonna tutor the baby? Who's gonna tutor the baby? Silence. Sorry, baby. You gotta fend for yourself.
Aww.
You got to fend for yourself. Hello, my little Jacob. Hello. He's like, what does my mother do for a living? I don't really know how to describe it. We refer to her as boss lady.
I don't know what's up. What did you do? My game.
All right, everyone. Thanks for
If
listening.
you finish homework, if you finish homework for your program, right? You are on Zoom.
Oh, the
You're on
baby.
Zoom, it's not for a game.
All right,
If you
everyone.
don't
Did you guys
watch a Zoom, then you should manage your time wisely or come out play piano or dinner. Right?
Did you guys learn something? Everyone, did you guys learn something? Anybody?
Huh?
Did you learn something, guys? People, did you learn something? Say yes, please say yes. Yes. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone. We're very happy you were listening. Okay. Thank you, guys.